Hello, everyone. My guest today is Mark Michael. He is running a company called DevHub, a data-powered experience, i.e. landing pages. All right, Mark, you ready to take us to the top?
Yep.
So what's the company do specifically, and maybe can you name a customer using you and how they're using you?
Okay, so basically it's a platform. We always say people are using us to build 10 to 60,000 experiences, i.e. today's websites, microsites, and websites. You don't need us if you're building under 10. You need us if you're building more than 10, all the way up to 60,000. One of the customers that we work with is Windstar Cruises. They use us to roll out about 400 let's say, specific pages as part of a SEO and hybrid SEM play.
Yep.
Search engine marketing. Yep.
Yep. No, there's a lot of people doing this. They'll launch like thousands of landing page every single month relative to long tail keywords. And if you can do it at scale, you can actually start to get a lot of organic traffic that way.
And we're seeing also like a lot of demand gen kind of companies for like the enterprise. One right here in our backyard in Seattle rolled out about 800 pages.
Who's that behind you?
What? Behind me, behind us is a couple of companies, right? There's Amazon one block over. There's another one across the pond, Microsoft. One of those two rolling out about 800 pages for like 6 different languages, obviously pumping their cloud services.
Yep. So generally speaking, I'm sure you have a lot of different customer cohorts here, but on average, what's a customer going to pay you per month or per year to use the technology?
It's between between 8,000, 24,000, and then 50,000 plus.
A month or a year?
A year.
Okay. So, is a fair, would you say a
fair?
Wait,
hold on. Sorry. The 50,000 ones are monthly. Well, screw it. Per month, it's anywhere between $499 a month all the way to about 50,000 a month.
Okay. Yeah. So, that's obviously a massive range. So would you say, what is a fair average? Like $5,000 a month, 500 a month?
I would say it's closer to probably
15 grand a month. Okay. Interesting. When did you launch the company? What year?
Technically the company launched in September 2007.
Okay. And what's the difference between rallymind and DevHub, or are they the same company?
That's really what I wanted. Thank you so much. So basically, like DevHub, to us, a website or landing page or microsite, at the end of the day, the engine that generates that all is the DevHub technology. But it's the craziest thing. I think sometimes we get caught up in this terminology aspect where someone's like, well, we want to build location pages. Well, what's the difference between a location page and a landing? It's legit the same thing, but it's all semantics and what people are calling it. So when we simplified we basically built a product site, called it rallymind, and made that focused around landing pages and all the uses of landing pages, especially at scale. Then that's what kind of turned everything over in the last 2 years.
But it's all the same company.
It's all the same technology too.
Okay. So today, how many customers are you serving?
113 that we count.
Okay, 113. Now, can I take 113 times 15 grand a month to back into your MRR?
I would go. It's a little bit higher just because there's a couple that are in the 50,000 range that really skew that. But just, between you and I, slightly under $5 million.
In terms of ARR?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. But one of those numbers then is very different, right? So 113 customers at $15,000 ARPU a month is 1.6 million a month in revenue. You're at 5 million, which is about $450,000 a month. So is your ARPU lower?
I'm talking about annual, not monthly.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. So you're more at that's more like, okay. Well, even if if $15,000 a year is actually annual, right? Call it $1,500 a month. That would put you at something like 150 grand a month. You're north of that.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, like last month, what did you do?
Right around 200,000.
Okay, so you just told me 5 million run rate. 200,000 a month is not 5 million run rate.
No, it's under 5 million.
Okay, under 5 million. Got it. So you're doing essentially 2 today. Where were you exactly a year ago? Do you remember?
Just call it 1.
Okay, so you've about essentially more than doubled year over year.
Yep.
Where's most of that growth come from? New customers or expanding wallet share on existing customers?
It's a perfect mix of both.
Okay, so you have 50% of new customers adding to the revenue, and then the other is 50% upsell.
Yep.
What are you upselling? What's your most powerful upsell metric?
It's basically kind of what we call, I guess, new units added, right? So typically, because we are white labeled, right? Someone will roll us out with say one huge national brand, and then they'll be like, "Holy shit, that worked really well. We want to try this with our other 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 customers."
Okay, so when you kind of look at the cohort that signed up exactly a year ago, what was annual revenue churn on that cohort?
Annual revenue churn on that cohort, I don't know.
What is your churn?
Like 2%.
Okay.
And we don't really like,
so how do
we
you
don't
measure
really
that?
lose it. What?
So how do you measure that?
We
What does
basically like,
2%
those
mean?
are like failed kind of onboardings. Like we actually haven't lost a customer once they've been with us for almost 8 years.
Okay. So you're saying everyone, so what is the 2% churn then? So have they given you a credit card and then they stop paying via credit card?
Yeah, basically, like we set it up. They thought, they think they're gonna crush 600 pages for this automotive brand, whatever, a month. They only get to like 10, and it fails kind of in the onboarding system.
Okay, so they were paying, they stopped paying. You use about 2% of your revenue annually. Is that accurate in terms of churn?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fairly low. I mean, for this kind of thing, are you priced too cheap?
It's honestly, I sometimes blame us for being in too deep. Like it was this year. Obviously, things have gotten pretty nuts around here, and we've had a couple of people through our office, and right over here those are a couple dashboards up on the office, big screens, and like someone walked in, and they saw that 2%. One of our technically investors walked in and was like, "Holy shit! You know what you guys can do with that kind of churn?" And I was like, "No, what?" They're like, "You can hire sales against that. You can do a bunch of stuff." We just never thought of it. Like I think we were just in too deep.
How much have you raised to date?
I mean, like just under $2 million.
Okay, so about all equity or some of that debt?
I guess there was a little bit of debt, but basically all equity.
Okay, like you raised a convertible note that converted to equity or something?
No, we did one of those, SaaS kind of loan things.
Who'd you take it from? Lighter Capital, SaaS Capital? Mark, Who'd you take the loan from? Lighter Capital, SaaS Capital, Espresso? There's a bunch of these firms.
I know. It was Lighter.
Okay, it was Lighter. So, I mean, you're being a bit hesitant there. Did that not work out how you thought it might?
I don't know. I think it's a weird thing.
Well, it's becoming, the reason I'm asking about it, it's becoming more popular. I mean, there's a lot of people using some form of debt. Now, there are all kinds of different debt providers, right? So you have to get the right deal, right? So if something didn't work well for you, it is valuable for my audience to understand why it didn't work.
I know. Like one day I'll I don't know. Listen, trust me. If you watch anything about me in real life, like I live like right here, right now,
Well, was it a fixed interest rate, Mark, or was it a percentage of revenue that you're paying back?
Percentage of revenue.
Okay, somewhere between 3 and 8% per month.
Yep.
Okay, and was it a 3 to 6 year term?
Yeah.
And repayment cap was something like 1.4 or 1.5x of the total money you got.
Yep.
Okay, and how much did you raise? About 100?
No, about $500,000.
Okay, about $500,000. So, and what year was that?
2000 and I believe 15 or 6. I think 2016.
Okay. So are they off your, I mean, is that done now? Have you paid that back or shut that thing down?
Almost.
Okay. Are you looking to recap that with a new debt provider?
Hell no.
Okay. Why do you say hell no? The alternative is to take equity and take dilution.
No, we make money.
Okay, then why did that? If you're making money, you were able to use that $500,000 to drive growth. I'm just trying to figure out where the friction was.
Okay, I mean, again, like I'll tell you, this is for a certain segment of your audience, right? So, we've been in business for, let's say, like I said, about 11 years, right? At the time we took it, I guess closer to like 8, 9, right? You raised money back then, let's call it $2 million. You think you figured everything out. You think, okay, this time when I get money, I'm gonna. What do most people say they're gonna raise money for?
To drive growth,
right? And AKA sales, right? And so, like, it's just not right. Like, to me, if I was someone in that realm, I would say, if you take that money, pay yourself more, because you're the one that can drive more sales than trying to figure that out with that.
So what you're telling me is you took money and you didn't know how to spend it to drive growth. That's your fault.
Yeah, I wish it was. I bet you the underside of most of those deals that they're all the same.
Well, the point is, you can listen to grow your business. You take money somehow. You can either take dilution and raise an equity round. You raise $2 million, or you can take debt. The fact of the matter is, you shouldn't do either if you don't know how to spend money to grow your company. What I'm hearing you say is you did not know how to spend that $500,000 to grow your company.
I mean, again, I think the person listening on the other end will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mark, they won't. That's why it's an interview show. That's why I have CEOs come on and share stories. That's why I ask questions. So if you're just going to assume everyone knows everything already, we should end the interview now.
No, you're good, man.
So give us something to learn from here. You're being extremely vague. It's not helpful at all. Was it just the fact that you didn't know how to spend that money to drive growth as fast as you wanted?
No, I mean, I think we could have technically picked, I mean, listen, to me, it's a longer conversation than a 15-minute thing. But I mean, basically, I mean, like, I think one of the big mistakes that a lot of founders make is they bring in people that they think potentially can do a better job than they could have done at a very important part in their business. And that guidance from those type of people in terms of their qualifications and what they think they can do to drive sales just doesn't pan out. So then what do they end up doing is probably going to do another round with another one of those companies, and they go back and do another one and another one and another one, and they actually never get out of that cycle.
Who is they? You're talking about a sales hire that didn't work out?
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about other kind of startups in that same position.
Sorry, Mark, I'm not following you at all here. If you're saying you thought you could bring someone in that would help you drive essentially growth, and it turned out to be the wrong person to take advice from, they couldn't execute. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, I mean, it was the wrong kind of couple people.
Okay,
yeah.
But those were hires that you made, correct?
Yeah.
So why is that reflective at all on the quality of lighter capital debt? They weren't making hiring decisions. You were a bad judgment of people, and the people didn't work out.
Yeah, I can accept that.
Well, no, I don't want you to accept it. I'm curious if that's accurate. Was Lighter telling you who to hire, and you're basically mad that you took their advice?
No, hell no.
So
I just don't think we actually needed the money at the time that we needed it.
Okay, got it. So back to my initial point, which was you took on capital that you did not need or know how to spend to drive growth. That is at the crux of what this is.
I mean, I think the crux of what this is really like probably an own insecurity with me on my end, at least, probably one of the co-founders of this company, and basically trying to bring in, I always tell people, like, the two biggest mistakes I ever made: one, going to college; two, was bringing in other people to run this company at certain points where we just didn't actually need those people. Period. But it was like my own insecurity, because even the way I'm talking with you, you're not understanding what I'm saying. Like, I always felt like that was kind of like a weird thing in the way I communicated. And so, yeah, but now since we've been running it, I mean, obviously we've been doing really well.
How many people are on the team today?
13.
Okay. And how many are engineers?
9.
Okay. Any quota carrying sales folks?
Me and one other.
Okay. So 2 folks. And then, so when you look at your fully weighted CAC to get a new $1,500 a month or $15,000 a year account, what do you spend to get a customer?
I don't know that.
Okay. What do you pay commission in terms of if a salesperson closes a deal?
No cap. They have to close 7 deals before they start to reach those other kind of levels.
What other kind of levels?
Basically, whatever their commission structure is.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So are you talking like 10% commissions, 20? What do you pay in terms of percent commission?
It's like a point system.
Okay. Well, I don't know how that works. Can you explain it?
I didn't put it together. My other co-founder did.
Okay, so you don't understand how you pay your salespeople.
I mean, I just trust the math that he came up with.
Well, can you educate us as best you can on that math?
Can I bring him in?
Well, no, because I mean, we're running short on time. You don't know. I find it very skeptical that a 13-person team where you are also doing sales and you don't know how the other person doing sales is compensated.
I mean, I know that I know what their base is, and I know what they can make.
Yep.
What
quota do you set? What quota do you set people at? That you said they need to close
7 deals a quarter.
Okay, so 7 $15,000 a year deals.
It's based on points, because again, there's different level. I mean, there's a $50,000 a month contract, or there's $499 a month contract.
Yeah. So how much new revenue do you want them to close each quarter or each month? I
don't know.
How much do you, again, 7 deals, you just said why it doesn't make any sense because they could be big or small. So 7 deals is the wrong thing to look at.
Points. So there's like a half point for like a smaller deal, full point if it's this other deal. And there's an onboarding cost that they get a point for if it's a higher onboarding, because it's like a national franchise that we're migrating over. It's all based on like that stuff.
Okay. Are you guys burning capital today or you break even?
No, we're banking cash.
Okay. You're talking like 10% a month or more?
Probably a little bit more.
Okay. So a little bit more than 10% a month, if you're doing $2 million run rate today, would be something like $16,000 or $17,000 in new money in your bank every month. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Pretty good. So are you planning to raise additional equity capital or no?
I don't know. I mean, we keep getting hit up all the time, you know. I mean, obviously, you can probably tell from earlier in the interview, like I'm not a fan of it, just in general. I don't know. I think we have something pretty special here. We'll see what happens.
Okay, good. Let's wrap up here with the famous five. Number one, what's your favorite business book?
The Everything Store.
Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
No.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building your company?
Outreach.io.
And number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
I think 7.
And how old are you?
37.
37. What's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married, but she's fiercely independent.
That's good. And how many kids?
None.
No kiddos. And last question, what do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
What is what?
Something you wish you knew when you were 20.
That you're smart as fuck.
So what would you say? You're smarter than you think?
Yeah. Wait, I think everyone is. I think everyone is actually a lot smarter than they think.
No, I think there's a lot of people that think they're very smart and they're really not that smart at all, and that gets them in a lot of trouble.
I know. And then that's a whole different person in general. I totally, they got to know. Yeah. I mean, you got to know a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I think my audience right now is probably laughing hysterically. On that note, we'll wrap up here. RallyMind helps you launch landing pages at scale, 10, 20, 30,000, etc. per month for SEO purposes. They're currently serving about 113 customers, launched in 2007, doing a $2 million in terms of run rate, up from $1 million just a year ago. They've raised about $2 million to date, profiting about $17,000 per month. So call it north of 10% EBITDA margins. 9 people on their engineering team, 2 sales folks, 13 total people on the team, 2% annual revenue churn, no expansion yet, 98% net revenue retention. Again, as Mark looks to scale the company. Mark, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you, Nathan.